We're doing Pixar movies.
Yeah, we are.
So let's just jump into it.
Alright.
Yeah.
Philly D.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, I'm going to first start out by saying Cars 2 is a D.
Okay.
That's a gimme. Is there any other gimmies like that?
Inside Out being S.
Oh, I'll agree with that.
And Coco being S.
Coco is also an S. I can't argue that. I'm going to put, just for everyone's reference, I'm putting these three at the bottom, only because we have not seen them.
Mm-hmm.
Though, from what I hear, they do belong here.
Yeah.
But I can't say, because we haven't seen them. Neither of us. I'm just kind of getting them out of the way.
Right.
Okay. So, Up.
Mm-hmm. I would put Up at an A.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, because I love the story.
Yeah, it's a decent story. Yeah, that's for sure.
And just the emotions of him losing his wife.
Yeah, the first 5 minutes are masterful.
Uh-huh.
It's sad.
Yeah.
It's a well-told story.
Yep. I love the villain.
Yeah, I don't know about that, personally, but...
I love that he has the dogs speaking for him.
That is funny.
Yeah.
That is funny. Okay. Toy Story Originale.
A or S.
Yeah, I agree with that. I say A.
Okay.
It's an A plus for me. Boy, actually, I think this is significantly better than Up. Again, we're going on the Pixar scale.
I know.
Look at the other movies down here.
I know.
I mean, B for this scale is still really good.
Yeah.
There are very few Pixar movies that are bad, four I can think of.
Toy Story 3.
Toy Story 3?
Really?
Maybe an A. But Toy Story 3, remember the incinerator and the daycare and Lotso, all that?
Yeah.
We were just talking a few minutes ago about how it was better than the first two.
Okay. Then it was 2 that I was thinking of.
Maybe. 2's the one where he gets kidnapped by the toy guy. And
Jesse's introduced.
And Jesse and the prospector. Honestly, I think that was as good as the first one.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Why not?
Alright.
I like it.
Alright, that's fine.
It even had a good song. Jesse's song was good.
Yeah.
It's the only song in it, I think, but it's one more than most Toy Story movies. Okay, well, you agreed, so okay. Finding Nemo.
I'd call it on the same... Well... I want to call it on the same rank as Up. However, I think it ranks above that because of how they deal with Dory.
Care to elaborate?
With her, memory loss.
Like...
I like how realistic they make it based on how she deals with it and how other people react to it.
I see.
And I think on that note, Finding Dory is on the same level of goodness as the original.
Really?
Yeah.
I was going to put it here.
Really? Why?
Just a little lower. Because I don't think it was as good as the first one.
Why not?
Well, a little bit of a rehash, which is always a negative. I thought the driving the car at the end was weird.
Oh, in the truck when they're escaping?
Yeah. Like, I thought that was a little out of place. Like, it was a little, I don't know. I mean, it's still a B. It's still as good as Up.
Sure.
Like, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I think the original was a step better.
Okay.
Yeah. And in the second one, her memory loss is a lot more convenient, too.
In what way?
She remembers things when she needs to remember them, and she forgets them when she needs to forget them. Like, as the plot needs her to remember or forget things.
Okay.
Sure.
I'm not remembering how that was a thing, but...
Well, like, she suddenly remembers her parents, and then she goes, and then she sees a shell, and suddenly remembers the whole shell thing.
Well, that is a thing. Like, seeing certain things, smelling certain things, can give you a reminder of a really strong memory.
Yeah.
And her family, her parents, are a really strong memory for her.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Do you really want it to be an A?
Yeah.
Alright. But Incredibles is an A.
Yes, absolutely.
That's not even... Incredibles is great.
Yeah.
I would almost put it at an A, but I think these movies have more emotional... S. Yeah. I think these movies have more depth, more emotional impact than this one.
Absolutely.
So only an A, but yeah.
Only an A.
Yeah, only an A. Ratatouille.
I would put it with Up.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I like Ratatouille.
I liked it too.
Yeah, it's good.
Mm-hmm. I liked the story. I enjoyed the interaction between humans and animals.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, I mean, obviously the animation was spectacular.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, okay, I agree with that.
I just think there was something missing from it that's in the ones that are above it.
Yeah, well, there's not quite as much of an emotional punch in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not as cohesive as some of the other movies.
Yeah.
But it's still very good. I'm going to put Cars at a C.
Okay.
While I still like Cars, I do.
Yeah.
Certainly not as bad as these ones. Like, there should be another stage in between C and D. Because these are that much worse. Again, I haven't seen these, but I've just heard that they're really bad.
Mm-hmm.
But Cars 2...
was meh.
It's just so much worse. Like, it's like an F. Like, these are like F.
Sure.
It's not even a D, it's just F. But this is C.
Yeah.
Like, it's not as good as any of these. But
Right.
it's still good. I still like it. It's still quite a good movie.
Yeah.
Reminding everyone, this is the PIXAR scale.
Mm-hmm.
So even a C is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Bug's Life.
C or D?
Yeah, similar thing for me. C.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a D. Again, this is more like an F.
Okay.
And I don't think it deserves an A. You know what? I'm just going to do... There.
Alright.
That's an F. There is no D.
There is no
D. It goes
D.
straight from C to F. So yeah, Bug's Life goes there. Now, Incredibles 2.
Oh, man. I would put it at B.
You think B?
Yeah, it was really good.
It was really good.
For a sequel, like, they did really well with that.
Yeah.
I would almost put it, like, right next to its original.
That's what I was thinking myself.
Yeah.
You want to just?
Yeah, let's just.
Yeah, let's just. Because it was good. It was very good.
Yep.
Yeah. I could even see an argument being made for it being better than the original.
Really?
I'm not going to make that argument, but I could see it being made.
Okay.
Like, I could see how someone might have a case for that.
Sure. Alright.
I don't.
Yeah.
But I can see how someone might.
Mm-hmm.
Wall-E.
Wall-E. B.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
It's good. But, I don't know. It's a little heavy-handed at times. But I like the concepts in it. It's good. It's good. Monsters Incorporated.
Same.
B?
Maybe A.
Yeah, I was thinking that. That's where I was going to put it.
Yeah.
An A.
Same with Brave.
I quite liked it. Brave A?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I was going to say like a B for Brave.
Really?
I would even see an argument for C.
I just really appreciate the fact that they brought in a different culture. And it's a princess movie, which Inside Out... sorry, not Inside Out. Which Pixar doesn't really do.
Princess. Oh, right.
Yeah, Merida's officially, quote-unquote, a Disney princess.
Oh, yes, she is.
Yeah.
I'm scanning through the other movies like, are there any other princesses? No, there's not.
No.
There are not other princesses.
But again, it doesn't really pack that emotional punch.
It tries to.
It tries to, yes.
But it doesn't succeed as well as some of these.
Right.
Yeah. The whole bear thing was kind of interesting.
Yeah. I liked the mythology of that.
Yeah, it's a good story.
Mm-hmm.
And I like what the old woman, the witch.
Yeah, the witch.
I like what she did for the PIXAR theory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was kind of a fun thing.
Yeah.
But that's kind of a separate discussion. I think this is our final scores.
Mm-hmm.
So here we are. Final scores. PIXAR. I think that's about right. I feel okay with that.
Yep. Me too.
Yeah.
Kind of funny that so many are, like, the ones that have sequels, the sequel is just as good as the
PIXAR is really good at that.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say The Incredibles and Toy Story sequels are at least as good as the originals.
If not better.
I wouldn't have agreed with that with Nemo, but,
Yeah.
that's fine. Monsters, Inc. sequel doesn't... it's not. It's a prequel, so maybe that's the problem.
Maybe.
And the Cars sequel, but Cars started out not as good as the others.
Mm-hmm.
Though, to be fair, the sequel was so much worse.
Mm-hmm. Was it like Mulan 2 bad?
Yeah, it was like straight to DVD bad.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen Cars 2, so...
Okay, so...
Is it the sequel we don't talk about?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
Let me just tell you this. It focuses way more on Mater, and he becomes a spy for MI6 or whatever they call it in the movie, I forget. And he's trying to stop some like missile from blowing up things. It's stupid.
Okay.
They like put Mater into the shoes of James Bond, and it's like, no one asked for that.
No.
Why is this a thing?
Right.
And it's focusing way more on Mater than on Lightning McQueen.
A, no one asked for that. B, why?
Yeah, it's dumb. I don't know why. It's not that hard of a concept. The funny side character works because he's a funny side character.
Right.
You can't be an element of silliness and chaos if you're the main character.
Right.
Otherwise, the movie falls apart. This is why the Jack Sparrow sequels didn't work. Because he was the main character, and he's supposed to be this chaotic force that comes in and forces the plot forward. And he can't be that if he's the main character.
Right.
Next tier list. Fingers. Which
All right.
ones are good and which ones do we give the finger? Obviously, the thumb is an S rank.
Yes.
Without the thumb, we couldn't do anything.
We would, without the thumbs, we would be just like any other animal.
That's right. And I would argue that the pointer is an A rank because it is very useful. I will point at the screen right now and say that's why it's useful.
I can do that too.
You can do it with your thumb, yeah, but that's why it's an S rank. It's very useful.
It's very versatile.
I'm going to say middle finger is B. Not as useful, but quite useful in certain situations.
I mean, you can also use it for pointing.
You can use a lot of fingers for pointing.
Yep.
You can use your nose for pointing.
That's true.
But that's not the
chin.
qualifier. I know, you're not putting in much input. I think you're just agreeing with me.
Yeah, I don't have any...
It's fine to agree with me. I'm good.
I don't have any arguments.
Next up is the pinky, C rank. It's more useful than the useless ring finger. The ring finger is only there to look pretty. It doesn't do anything. The pinky, at least, you can put up to look fancy.
Or you can make pinky promises.
Or make promises, that's right. Or you can scoop stuff if you want to look delicate. Yum, yum, yum. Eat it off your finger. That's our rank for fingers, since you asked.
Yep, we were definitely asked.
Good. Next up. Star Wars movies. I don't know why this person added qualifiers to their rank letters. But whatever, we're here now.
This is going to be more you than me because
you have seen them except Solo.
Yes.
So that's fine. Okay. Starting out, let's just do this right here. Empire Strikes Back, S rank.
Okay.
It is the best Star Wars movie, technically speaking. Yeah, none of the others are as good as Empire Strikes Back. Though, I am personally going to put Return of the Jedi at an S rank as well. Okay. It's more like an S minus, but it's still up there. It is my favorite Star Wars movie. I recognize that it's not technically the best movie, but it is my favorite for various reasons. Mostly the Vader-Luke fight at the end, the encounters with the Emperor, that whole thing. The space battle was like the Battle of Endor, only bigger. It's just good. I didn't even mind the Ewoks as a kid. I can see why people have a problem now, but I kind of wish they were Wookiees. Have we talked about that?
No.
I wish Endor was Kashyyyk and that they were Wookiees instead of Ewoks. It would have made sense why they were beating up all the Stormtroopers if they were friggin' Wookiees. Like, yeah. Anyway.
Maybe they're friends with the Wookiees. I don't know.
That's a separate argument. But yeah, okay. And
I think that's one that I slipped through.
What?
The
Return of the Jedi?
Yeah.
You never seen it?
I think it has been played in my presence.
Oh God. Okay. Well, there's the top ones are all up there. This one, while excellent, is not as good as these two. It's a lot more of a open and shut kind of story.
Okay.
Next up, we're going for the prequels. Obviously, episode 1 is down here at mediocre.
Yeah.
Well, actually, this is what I would argue. There we go. Okay. I threw them up there. Mm-hmm. Now I'm going to argue.
Okay. You're going to make your argument.
I think of the prequels, number 2 is the worst.
Okay.
Again, like most of the movies that end up in the bottom, it's got moments that are good.
Wasn't episode 2 the one where he was just... There was no emotion?
Well, that's all of them. All the prequels.
He had more emotion as a kid than he did...
That's true.
Any other time.
Yeah, he was very wooden in 2. And in 3, he was wooden with an angry face. Like, yeah, he was... Yeah, I mean, there were emotions, but... I liked the Jango Fett stuff. I liked the Obi-Wan stuff. I mean, the Obi-Wan stuff is always the best stuff in these movies. And the Qui-Gon stuff, but that doesn't last very long. That's why, by the way, I put episode 1 up at C. The Duel of the Fates. Most people will argue that episode 1 sucks, but the Duel of the Fates is great. The fight scene, the song, both. Mm-hmm. It's great. It's excellent. Almost the entire rest of the movie is very meh. Even the pod race, it's exciting. It's kind of fun, but it's overall...
There's definitely a sign of its times when you can see the prosthetics on Darth Maul's head.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They did not do a good job of
Darth Maul did end up being a great character overall.
Sure.
Like later, like at Clone Wars. Mm-hmm. But that's not here.
Right.
Episode 2 was just bad. It was definitely the worst one. Most people would argue episode 1's the worst one. I'd say episode 2 doesn't have the redeeming moments that episode 1 does. Now, most people would also say, yeah, but episode 1 has Jar Jar, which I can't really argue with. But I think Duel of the Fates is better than Jar Jar is bad. But in episode 2, it's all bad. Like, there's hardly redeeming moments. There's a little bit in the Jango stuff and a little in the Obi-Wan stuff, but you get most of the Obi-Wan stuff in the third one. Mm-hmm. You get some good stuff there. And I definitely think the third one's the best prequel.
Okay.
And I've hardly heard anyone disagree with that.
I'm certainly not gonna.
Yeah. Now, Force Awakens.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I will do like that. Release order. I think it was listed in release order, actually. Force Awakens.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
I liked that one a lot.
I did too. My only question is A or B.
Mm-hmm.
I almost want to say A. Like A minus, whereas the original's an A plus.
Yeah.
But...
That was the first one that Disney had full control of, right?
The yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they did really well with it.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm not 100% behind the whole Stormtrooper leaves the Stormtrooper leaves the horde, so to speak.
You talking about Finn?
Yeah.
What? Explain yourself.
I think that went a little too far out of lore.
What do you mean?
It was just when I like what they did with it. I just don't actually I don't believe it, if that makes sense.
Why not?
Because he's the only one to have done so.
No.
Oh, okay. But they didn't show that in movie lore.
Kinda. They alluded to it. In the original, the very, very first one... excuse me. And in Star Wars, you have to clarify. I mean Star Wars, A New Hope.
Okay.
Remember when Luke was talking about going to the Academy?
Uh-huh.
It was the Imperial Academy he was talking about going to.
Oh.
And he said all his friends had already gone.
Uh-huh.
So a bunch of his friends already went to the Academy, including his friends, not Wedge, the Wedge was at the Academy, Biggs.
Okay.
They were at the Academy. Then he goes and joins the rebellion, and there they are. They defected and left. That's where they, Wedge had gone to the Imperial Academy. So did Han, actually. and Biggs was at the academy, and they joined the rebellion. Okay. So it's not unheard of at all. People run away all the time. Okay. That's where the rebellion came from for the most part. But it's the first time we've seen a stormtrooper defect.
I guess I just didn't have...
Doesn't mean it's unbelievable.
I didn't have an understanding of it, and that's why it seemed unbelievable to me.
Oh.
I thought that they were just all completely brainwashed into thinking this is the way it has to be.
I mean, yeah, they are, but that doesn't always work.
Okay.
Like, for him, he had a moment he saw his best friend die in front of him, and then that shook him, and then that kind of shook him out of his brainwashing a little bit, and then being ordered immediately after that to kill a whole group of innocent civilians, that kind of pushed him over the edge, and he was like, oh shit, I don't know what I'm doing. What am I doing? What's my life? What is Stormtrooper? And yeah, and we saw what happened. So I mean, it's believable. I mean, you know,
like I said, it just must have been a misunderstanding on my part.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know, maybe.
A misunderstanding.
Misunderstanding, yeah. Rogue One.
Not as strong as The Force Awakens.
No.
But it was also meant to be a prequel to everything.
There's one thing I definitely liked about Rogue One. It filled up plot holes.
Yes.
Big plot holes from the originals that people always talked about, and it filled them. Some that I didn't even think about that people talked about. Like, for example, in the original, why did Leia just happen to stop over Tatooine where Obi-Wan was? Isn't that convenient? Well, no. In Rogue One, they explain that's where she was heading, to Obi-Wan. So she didn't just randomly stumble upon Obi-Wan. She limped her way across the finish line before being captured. So, I mean, it's a lot more harrowing if you think about it that way. Plus, of course, the Death Star stuff, and a couple other things that it's seeded. But yeah, it's a B or an A.
Okay.
Like, it's quite good. I think it only suffers from the main character being a little bit passive. Everything's happening to her. She's not enacting action the way Rey does in Force Awakens.
Right.
Which brings us to Last Jedi. Very divisive.
Yeah.
Very divisive movie.
I really enjoyed it.
I personally enjoyed it as well.
Yeah.
Not as much as the original, though.
Right.
It definitely had... I mean, I don't disagree with all the moments that people talk about. There are some that were silly. They could have done better. I don't think it was so bad that all those whiny piss ants are going to have their movie remade or whatever.
Yeah.
That was stupid. People are even saying that about some of their new movie. Oh, Captain Marvel or something.
It wasn't a new movie. It was Game of Thrones Season 8.
Oh, Game of Thrones. Yeah, people are getting really whiny nowadays.
Yep.
But, like, petitions to remake stuff, just go screw yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, Last Jedi.
Yourself.
I think Last Jedi had more good moments than bad moments, for sure. And,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's like the fight with the Red Guard at the end was friggin' great.
Yes.
Yeah, there's good stuff.
I loved the what Luke did. His projection image.
Yeah, I mean that was great. Some people whine about that. I'm like, oh, we never seen that before, and you never seen Force lightning before in Return of the Jedi.
Right.
It doesn't have to make sense. It's the Force.
Yeah.
I mean, it has to make a sense within its own universe, but this doesn't not make sense within its own universe.
Yeah.
You've just read too much fan fiction.
Yeah.
Just because you've never seen it before doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Well, yeah.
And it fits within what Jedi can do. It's like projecting a Force ghost.
Yeah.
But while you're alive.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not that crazy, really.
Well, it's like Doctor Strange, kind of.
Yeah, it is. And Solo...
Which I haven't seen.
Which you haven't seen. I'd say here.
Yeah.
It's about on par with these ones.
I've heard it was... I've heard it was pretty meh.
It was meh. Yeah, average is about the right word for it. I wish... The main problem is you can see the seams. And I say that to... It started out with one director, the guys who made the Lego movie, and then Disney didn't like what they were doing with it, so they switched over to Ron Howard. Though they'd already filmed a bunch of stuff, so they had to kind of take the stuff they'd already filmed, and then film new stuff, and splice it together. And you can kind of see the seams where they spliced it together. There's a lot of moments that are funny, or that are setting up funny moments later that never come to fruition. You can see they were trying to make it a lot more of a comedic movie, because that's what they do. They're comedy guys. And I wish they'd gone all in, because I feel like they could have done it really well.
But because of the change in direction, it just fell flat.
Yeah. A great example is the robot, whatever her name is. What she's doing is clearly done for comedic effect, but they take it too seriously. And the whole romance that she has with Lando could have paid off in a funny way at the end, but they only half-hearted it instead of going full in. And I know the Lord and whatever, the original directors would have gone full in. But Ron Howard pulled back. Now, Ron Howard's a great director, but he had to work with something that was already half done.
Right.
So it's not his fault. But
he did what he could.
He did what he could. I'm sure he did. So yeah, there we go. Star Wars movies.
Woo!
That's our ranking for Star Wars movies. Next up, colors. Colors. So, personally, blue is the best.
Okay.
And I can tell you statistically, blue is the people's favorite color across the world.
I would also put green up there.
Green is quite good.
And combine them together and you have my favorite color.
Teal. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Now I'm also going to go here and say yellow is absolutely the worst color.
Yeah.
Yellow sucks.
Yep.
Nobody likes yellow.
Nope. Well, that's not true. Some people do.
Yeah, okay, well again, statistically speaking, almost nobody likes yellow.
Yeah.
Blue is the top most favorite color in the world. Red follows behind it. Yellow is the least favorite color in the world. It varies country to country, but almost universally, yellow is near the bottom.
I would also put gray in D.
Gray is boring. It's a good neutral for some things, but on its own, it's boring.
Yeah.
Black is an A, because it is very useful. Same with red.
Yes.
Purple. I think it might even be an A.
Yeah.
You think? Yeah. Orange is like a C.
Same with pink.
Pink.
Yeah. All right.
Actually, why don't we just make it even?
Okay.
Because I kind of feel like that. I feel that. I feel that
You're
right
feeling
there.
evenness?
I feel the evens.
Okay.
Evens, Stevens, colors. There's the official list of which colors are good and which colors are bad. You can reference it for your art projects if you like. Make sure to cite us here. Okay.
It's necessary.
That's right.
We're copywriting this.
And finally, our last tier of the day.
Okay.
Harry Potter movies.
Yeah, well, let's just put Sorcerer's Stone at the top, because it was the first. It wasn't necessarily the best.
Well, that's what we're debating. The cultural impact can play a part, but the meat and potatoes of what we're talking about is how good the movie itself was.
Okay, it also completely built up the world.
Yeah.
And showed exactly what we were getting into.
True.
Essentially.
But it's also the movie where their acting was shite. And it is the best Dumbledore.
Yes.
That is for sure.
Absolutely.
But the acting was crap.
Absolutely.
It was a lot more simple than the other ones story-wise. I don't know. I don't think it deserves the S slot.
No?
I don't think so. I mean, I see what you're saying, but they all work together to build it. And there's only 7, so...
True.
I think it's more like a B. It gets points for being the best Dumbledore. It's still a good story. It's still Harry Potter. And, it's got good stuff, and it's one of the more whimsical ones.
Yeah.
This one and the second one are the most whimsical.
Yeah.
Then it stopped being Chris Columbus, and
everything went gritty.
Everything went dark and gritty, which I sometimes wonder if they'd kept the same tone throughout the rest, what it'd be like. I mean, obviously they couldn't do that all the way.
Yeah.
It had to get a little dark at the end, but it went dark.
But even so,
I wish it had faded rather than just being like,
bam,
boom, suddenly everything's dark and gritty.
Yep.
Like, If it
a transition would have been nice.
If it had transitioned better, that would be nice.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to dignify that with a response, Mal.
What?
I'll let you read it. I will not say it out loud.
Oh. No.
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 Mal, we're not talking about fan fiction. We're talking about the actual lore movies.
Right.
So,
just because J.K. Rowling put her name on it does not make it canon.
So, the Chamber of Secrets.
Chamber of Secrets. I would put that as an A.
Really?
Yeah, because for one thing, freaking what's his face? Lockhart.
Lockhart is excellent.
Uh-huh.
I think we have a problem here. I'm looking through the movies.
Mm-hmm.
They're all going to be SAB.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to adjust our scale.
Okay.
Think about it. What is the worst Harry Potter movie? They're all good. We'll start by, again, we're using a scale that is skewed. They're all good. But what is the worst one? I think it's the original. It's good. It's whimsical. It's fun. But it's the worst one. I could see an argument for Goblet of Fire.
Uh-huh.
Being worse. But, yeah, I mean...
I don't think Goblet of Fire was worse.
Okay. Well, see, we're going on a skewed scale here.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to remember, this doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it's the worst of these.
Right.
Which doesn't mean it's bad. Which also means Chamber of Secrets is like C or B.
I would put it at B. Because I personally liked that one a lot.
Okay.
It's not my
fair.
favorite of the series.
Sure.
But.
Well, I'm going to put... This is my favorite. Prisoner of Azkaban.
Okay.
With Sirius Black.
Yeah.
And the whole time travel thing. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's good. By the way, Mel says Trollolo.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I figured he was trolling. Nobody actually likes Cursed Child. And when I say nobody, I mean nobody important.
The Twilight fans like Cursed Child.
Yeah, like I said, nobody important. Okay. Goblet of Fire. What do you think? C?
Goblet of Fire. No, I actually liked that one better than Prisoner of Azkaban. Because I loved the Triwizard Tournament. I loved that they actually followed the competitors and freaking Rita Skeeter.
Yeah.
But like in the books you can tell it's just a spectator thing, and like if you're just a spectator at the Triwizard Tournament, you're not even going to see anything.
Yeah.
But the fact that they did follow them made me happy.
Follow them?
Yeah, like we as an audience could see what the competitors were doing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
And also, the Yule Ball was really cool.
Yeah, I suppose that was fun.
And the introduction to Madame What's Her Face.
Yeah, I forget her name. Mm-hmm. Okay, Order of the Phoenix. No, wait. Is it? Oh, wait, I think we got it backwards, I think.
Order of the Phoenix?
I can hardly read because I think this one says Prisoner of Azkaban. Oh, wait, this one's Order of the Phoenix, the one I put up on S.
Oh.
This is Prisoner of Azkaban right here. This is Order of the Phoenix.
Okay.
Okay, so Order of the Phoenix.
Order of the Phoenix.
I'm trying to remember what even happened in that one.
Yeah.
It's where they
had the big old ministry fight.
Yeah, but that was the end. What happened in the middle?
Harry's having nightmares.
Yeah,
Dumbledore's
okay.
all distant.
That sounds like a C rank to me. Like, yeah. Again, we're on a skewed scale here.
Yeah.
I gotta keep reminding you guys. We're a skewed scale. It doesn't mean that we don't like the movie.
Right.
It just means of these, it's like the one that has the least interesting happen. I don't think that... Wait, who was the ministry fight? That was Umbridge.
Oh, yeah.
So this was Umbridge.
Yep.
Oh, man, she was good. Like a good villain, like evil.
She was a better villain than Voldemort was.
She was a more hated villain, for sure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she was terrible.
She was a terror to be a terror.
She's like a real-life Betsy DeVos. What about this one? The Half-Blood Prince. That's, I believe, the one with Slughorn and the Felix Felicis, and training with Dumbledore, but like barely.
Yeah.
Going back into the memory is learning about Voldemort's past, and then the big ministry fight at the end, and Dumbledore biting the end of a wand.
Yep.
I guess that makes it sound like suicide. No, he just died. So
I would put that as a C.
You think
or a
so?
D. Yeah. I don't.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
And then the two halves of
Deathly Hallows.
Deathly Hallows. Thank you. I couldn't remember. Mal's upset we spoiled it.
Yeah. Hashtag spoilers.
Yeah. Let's see. The first one,
they're just running around, really. I would say the final one is an A. The second half is a B.
You don't think anything deserves S? Because I know you don't like this one as much.
I was trying to argue for the Goblet of Fire to be an S, but you don't like it as much.
I mean,
I just think the most happens in the Goblet of Fire.
I'll do that for you. Because
right.
you let me do this. There are two favorites, so
yeah,
we can put them both up there.
Yeah, I'm not happy with that outcome, but oh well. It is what it is.
Well, how about we do this then? Because we're divided on them.
Okay.
How about we do it like this?
Sure.
Does that feel good?
Yeah. That's better.
Happy with this?
Yeah.
Cool. So,
happier, anyway.
Just to go over, because it's not as clear as some of the other lists. At D, we have the original Sorcerer's Stone. On B, we have
That's the C.
At C, we have Order of the Phoenix and Half-Blood Prince. At B, we have Chamber of Secrets and Deathly Hallows Part 1. At A, we have Prisoner of Azkaban, my choice, and Goblet of Fire, Mrs. choice. And at S, we have the finale, Deathly Hallows Part 2. There we go. That is that.
Indeed. That is perfect timing.
That is perfect timing. I hope you agreed, generally speaking, with our picks, even though Mal wants to put Cursed Child at S rank. And we won't even talk about that.
We'll just say he's wrong and leave it at that.
Yeah, we'll just say he's wrong and leave it at that. So, yeah, that's that. So, if you have different thoughts, put them in the comments about any of the lists we've done. For example, if you don't think Blue deserved S rank, go ahead and explain why you're wrong. And join us next time. We'll be streaming something else.
Yep.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.